I'm going to talk a little bit about what our organization has done, is doing, and then we're going to have a few more folks come up and talk. So Jefferson Street Center has been a 501c3 nonprofit since 1987 and has evolved over time to respond to the needs of the greater community. We've taken on many forms, first beginning as a nonprofit child care center in this building, lasting 2 decades before closing due to the economic recession in 2010. We then transitioned into an active Delaware readiness team supporting our local schools. As a result, in this experience, and being deeply involved with the students and their families, JSC's Delaware readiness team applied to become a blueprint community in 2016. It was during this process that we found our next transition. Our board president, Mr. Willie Patrick, who is an original member of the Blueprint team, will talk about this in a few minutes. But the results of that process are on display right over here. And so when we're done this, if you want to take a look at it, this is what drives our work today. Our mission is to promote social justice for all, with an emphasis on improving the quality of life for individuals and families living in the surrounding community. This is a really big statement and can mean a lot of different things to a lot of people. Our organization is growing from a staff of 1 from a year ago to now hosting our first public ally AmeriCorps member. And we're in the formative process of strategizing our goals around you, our community members, what you feel are the most important issues and projects that need to be addressed. We've been building JSC in an intentional way to create an inclusive, community-driven, and collaborative organization that focuses on addressing the needs and supporting the assets in Northwest Wilmington. We are working to grow neighborhood stewardship and support community development and revitalization efforts. And one of these projects is working directly with Hanover to share the amazing amenities that this big, beautiful building has to offer. Most importantly, our goal is to share this space with our neighbors, collaborators, and local community leaders who want to make our city a better, safer, and thriving place to live. The opening of this community hub is no small feat, nor is our work over. It also hasn't happened in a vacuum. Our deep collaboration with Hanover is so fruitful because of the hospitality, inclusivity, and justice-forward thinking of its members. Reframing a space while preserving its cultural intent is hard work. But the dedication of the membership of this church to community service without any trace of judgment outweighs the possible challenges that may arise. It also is evident around this room, especially through these picture displays of the shared programming that happens in this building, highlighting the food pantry, our free clothing closet, and JB's Cafe, which is out on the corner on 18th, just to name a few. I also really want to mention how amazing it was that the food pantry never shut down during the pandemic, which is just incredible to reflect on. Hanover has done amazing work to serve the community for 250 years, and we're excited to see how we can continue to support the sustainability of these high-need programs. So we are thrilled to come together in celebration, especially after the past few years. COVID has impacted communities and families in ways that still continue to this day. This is why we felt opening the community hub at this point was crucial right now, even though we are still a work in progress. Albert Einstein quoted, "In the midst of every crisis lies great opportunity." And since I started with the organization in April 2021, I've had so many conversations with amazing people in these neighborhoods and throughout the city, talking about how they are helping their neighbors, organizing resources, and working to create stronger connections in their growing circles. You all have been using your social enterprise to create these opportunities by supporting each other and reframing your own lives and discovering how you can best serve others, and it's been incredibly inspiring to witness. This hub, this gathering place, is opening for you all to continue growing your passions and connections with each other, and for JSC to support your efforts in doing so. So during our 6-month pilot program this past spring, we housed several partners that provide impactful programming but didn't have a space to meet with their participants. We conducted over 100 surveys, collecting information from program managers, participants, volunteers, and community partners on what type of hub would grow their programming and increase positive outcomes in the community. We continued working on renovations and building our hybrid capacities to meet the diverse needs of our neighbors recovering from a pandemic. This pilot program has provided us great insight into our goals of connecting capacity building resources to our partners, as well as building out our community hub infrastructure. So, truth be told, this is why we chose to come inside on this beautiful day in order to showcase one of our biggest community spaces in the building. Having found an opportunity in crisis, during the pandemic, the JSC board raised over $500,000 to renovate spaces in the hub. In this big room, they focused on renovating the food pantry, updating the kitchen, installing the ADA bathrooms. And if you haven't been downstairs yet, there will be an open house tour at 1 p.m. You should sign up. The basketball gym reveals updated wall padding, new sprinkler systems, new AC units, and brand new backboards from Al's down the street. It's been pretty nice having a basketball gym at my office, I'm not gonna lie. This work has been amazing to share so far, and we are excited to get more done. With deep thanks to Mayor Pizicki and the City of Wilmington, we will be able to begin renovations to our stage area, purchase technology to build a computer lab, and hire local artists to work with our neighbors and create murals for the hub interior. We are showcasing the stage behind us because one of our goals is to update and to renovate this area. Several community programs have already talked about wanting to host open mic nights, intergenerational dancing and improv classes, and family movie nights. Also, if you have any more ideas for community programs you'd like to see down here, there's a whiteboard right here, and add your ideas right onto it. So lastly, I mentioned earlier that this community hub is one of JSC's projects as we grow our organization. As we are sustainably building upward and outward, working directly with neighbors, leaders, and advocates, JSC is working to address the community development efforts while preserving the assets. Over the next year, we'll be excited to roll out our goals and plans to support small businesses in our area, work with you on beautification projects, and build partnerships that address public safety efforts. This collaboration will only help an organization grow that truly reflects and serves the community. Okay, I got my big part out of the way. So finally, we are really excited to invite our elected officials up who have been supporting us both financially and as a sounding board, including James Spadola and Mayor Pizicki. And I also would like to mention Sinead Darby, even though she was not able to make it here today. So right now, without any further ado, I would like to introduce Mayor Pizicki to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Amanda. I've been in this church, I don't know, a dozen or more times. I'm blown away. I'm blown away by all this, to tell you the truth. I, kind of all went upstairs and went to a service or an event or even a debate we've had up there. It's a marvelous church. Like some of our church, it serves the city so well because it sees a bigger mission than Sunday service. And so when I came in here, and then I saw Willie Patrick, your esteemed chairman, our head of emergency services. Then he told me there's a gym. Like, oh my God, what does this thing go on forever? It's really great. So let me give you a few thoughts here. I'm so happy when Amanda and Helen came to talk to us about this. I was so happy to hear what they wanted to do, because the communities that succeed in our city are the ones that have a core organization that kind of defines the soul of that community. There's a touchstone in some of these organizations. So Reach Riverside's a good example. Westside Grows is a good example. It's an organization that gets up in the morning and says, what can we do to help our community? What's wrong with it? What can we sound the alarm about? In other words, they're people that deeply care as a matter of their mission for improving the community. A healthy community is organic. It doesn't happen because the city does something. Cities can't make good neighborhoods. Neighbors make good neighborhoods. People who care make good neighborhoods. We have a role to play, but the city, honestly, government, there are things that government just does very poorly, and everybody expects government to do it. What happens is government can assist a broad-based attempt in our community to make things better. And this side of town is such a beautiful part of the city, and it's a shame when you see problems arise that we're not able to take care of. So we welcome you. We really do. It's just a wonderful thing. Let me say generally, the city is doing so very well. It really is. I mean, obviously we've got our problems, but the city is doing remarkably well. My license and inspection director the other day commissioner told me that we have building permit fees in each of the last 3 years averaging $280 million. I mean, imagine $280 million of investment during the pandemic, during a tough time, and yet we're doing so very well. Yesterday, I went down to our college fair, our HBCU college fair. This is HBCU week here in Wilmington. And I went down to the 76ers Fieldhouse to see what this year's entrance looked like. We had 6,000 kids. 6,000 kids show up to interview with any one of 26 different HBCUs that came there to be available to help our kids. I don't know what the scholarship number will be this year, but it's fantastic. I mean, it's tens of millions of dollars. The American Chemical Council, I think, awarded 1,000 scholarships a year, all starting right here in Wilmington with our effort on HBCU Week. As I said, if you look at the downtown, it's flourishing as never before. Our riverfront continues to thrive. We are spending $20 million in the east side of town to try to uplift a beleaguered part of our city. And the people doing the work are all minority contractors. We've featured supporting of our minority contractors and giving them priorities to get work. But we're also taking kids out of Howard and training them and getting them on a job and get them a job right away. And they got 25 kids, working on those job sites. It's all coming together as never before. And to repeat what I said to begin with, there's no miracle that happens. It's just blood, sweat, and people working real hard because they love and they care for their community. And I'm so proud to be associated with this, Amanda. We're happy to help in every way. Willie, chairman of the board, great advocate for this community and this city overall. So God bless all of you. Thanks for having me. It's been an uplifting way for me to start my weekend. Thank you. So let me reintroduce my friend James Spadola, member at large from City Council.
Good morning, everybody. I'm very happy to be here. So I must admit, a couple years ago, somebody reached out to me and said they were with the Jefferson Street Center. And this is 5 or 6 years ago. And I was like, what is the Jefferson Street Center? So I do what everybody else did. I Googled it, never heard of it before. And I'm happy to say that I think today there are much fewer people in the world that would have to Google it because of the awesome outreach of Amanda, your great executive director, and your totally stacked board with awesome individuals. Great professional experiences. A lot of them live right in the surrounding neighborhoods. So kudos on a great board selection and a fantastic executive director. The mayor was talking about the need for linchpins in communities because the government can't do it all. And I've been going on a listening tour with some superintendents that touch the city. And I was sitting with the Christina superintendent the other day, and he was talking about the need for social services for students. And and he said it'd be great if the city could provide more social services. And I don't know if you've looked at the budget for the city, but I know the mayor would agree that we don't have the ability or the financial ability whatsoever to create a social services department. We have, the Parks Department essentially functions as our social services department. So we rely on nonprofits to help in that regard. We can create the partnership and we can provide some funding, but it really takes the boots on the ground from organizations like the JSC to get the kids off the street, to show them the way, and help us, revitalize Market Street and continue the good vibes from this neighborhood all the way over to the east side. So you've done amazing work so far. There's a lot more work cut out for you. So I hope you take care of Amanda. Don't let her go anywhere. And thank you all for having me. And I look forward to seeing what the future brings for the JSC. Thank you. And I'm happy to introduce the former Wilmington Fire Chief and Board President, Mr. Patrick.
Thank you, Jim. So first, let me start off by saying that when Amanda first told me that she was coming here, told me that her past experiences with basketball, playing basketball for St. Elizabeth. All right. The first thing I did was I challenged her. I said, we're going to do a one-on-one downstairs, right? Because I think I still have a jumper. I think I still have it, right? So, but, okay, we'll see. But good morning to all. Thank you so much for joining us this morning and being a part of this occasion. I'm elated to see all of you here. First, just let me say that it's been a while since anyone has seen anything like this, straight out of Jefferson Street. You hear the movie Straight Outta Compton. This is straight out of Jefferson Street. This is so amazing. About 3 years ago, I came to the board as a member because someone reached out to me and said, and Jim, me too, I hadn't heard of the Jefferson Street Center, lived in this neighborhood. As a matter of fact, I got to say, as a young boy, I played basketball right in that gym. Because this was, if you were the basketball junkie, you went to Hanover, Shortridge, Warner, or PS to play basketball. That's where we went. This is where we, during the winter, when the asphalt courts were not available, were not forgiving, we came inside. And so my first experience with the JSC was to be a board member. And when you first reached out to me, I had to do some research myself also, just to find out what it was about. And just as Amanda said, the JSC is a spinoff of the Blueprint Communities, the Washington Heights Blueprint Communities. There was a Blueprint Communities even before that in the 2nd District that developed a community development plan. And then an offshoot of that was the Washington Heights Blueprint Communities, which did community engagement, capacity building to be able to address the needs of the community, to establish objectives for the community and put services and resources to match up what those needs are. So we came together as a board, we started a planning process that would develop our short-term and long-term goals, and then we started identifying those partnerships. So we identified the goals and what we wanted to do, but then we said, well, we need to find some funding to get to facilitate that plan. And that's where, even before we hired Amanda, this board, and some of my board members are around, this board came forth and started developing funding plans to be able to address funding sources like the Longwood Foundation, the Welfare Foundation, to be able to say, okay, so we have a plan, so now we need to put funding to facilitate the plan. That's what this board did. And with me, can you applaud the Jefferson Street Board, please? Thank you. Thank you so much for our board who's done such a great job. So as we started looking at this and we said, oh, well, things started rolling. The tempo started to increase. Things started to roll, and we immediately decided that we needed to hire someone who could engage with the community, someone who bought into the mission of the JSC, to carry this forward. And then we did this search and came up with this fantastic person, Amanda August, who came in. And let me tell you something. It was amazing that she was available to us, right? And we're going to do everything that we can to hold on to her, right? Because, look, I know that a lot of the nonprofits are seeing what's going on here and seeing what we're doing and saying, well, they're seeing that the catalyst is, well, it's the board, but what's the driving force is that energy that comes from a person like Amanda August. And I just thank you. So with that, so we hired Amanda, and her energy is so infectious, right? I just hold on to her coattails, right? Because if you don't, you'll just get sucked by the vacuum of Amanda, right? So with that, so we decided that with that energetic spirit, this is the person that's going to move it forward, and she has. I just look at the things. If you look around, all that has been accomplished here at the JSC, you have to say, wow, in 3 years you did this. And it's not, and just let me say too, we don't do this without you, the community. We don't do this alone. And that partnership, the partnership between Hanover, JSC, and the community is phenomenal, and it's long-lasting, and it's going to even get even better. So because, just like Amanda said, we listen to you. We listen to what your needs are, and hopefully you give us the idea how we might address your needs. And then finally, just let me say is that, and I'm just going to reflect back for a couple months ago. Pastor Andy and Jacob and I were sitting outside at the JB's Cafe. And if you have not had food from JB's Cafe, you better get out there. You're in for a treat. You're in for a treat. So we were sitting outside enjoying lunch at JB's Cafe, and Pastor Andy pointed up to the stained glass that sits over top of, at the corner of 18th and Boehner and Jefferson on the island. And if you notice, well, not now, but at the time, it was covered. It had been covered since the 1968 civil unrest. So there was a time when you could not see the stained glass. And so we both agreed, you know what, it would be a great idea to uncover the stained glass for the grand opening. And I spoke with Herm Pulliam, and he said that it was done about a week ago. And to my delight, I was driving up Boehner, and if you come up the hill at night, you'll see the picture of Jesus in the stained glass as you drive up. And one of the things that I liken this to is a lighthouse, the beacon of light at the top of the hill. And a lighthouse stands in a harbor. It provides safety and hope to mariners as they come into port. A lighthouse is built to be strong. A lighthouse provides hope, safety. So too does JSC. JSC, Hanover, and this community collaboration provides hope to the community and safety to our community. I am so proud to be a part of this, and I just look for great things to come out of JSC, Hanover, and everything that's going to come out of it. Thank you so much. So with that, I'd like to call up Antoinette Watson to the stage.
Hello, everybody. Thanks, Amanda, for inviting me and letting me share my experience at JSC. So for those of y'all who don't know, my name is Antoinette Watson. I'm the founder of The Stand. We have the best grilled dogs in the city. If you haven't checked us out, please go do so. Not only am I the founder of The Stand, I also have my own organization called TGN Development Company. And through that organization, we're really passionate about supporting the people in my community and designing and living their best lives. I grew up over the north side. I'm from Wilmington, so when I developed my company, I was looking for housing. We just got a grant to have our workforce development program. So I was looking for housing, and Shanae told me about Amanda and JSC and how, they were offering affordable housing for programs. So when I contacted Amanda, we initially clicked. That energy, like he was talking about, is amazing. And I just want to say I appreciate, the opportunity that Amanda and JSC has provided me, because at the time I was really looking for housing for my program. I did not have the funding that was required or that everybody was asking for. And because of this partnership, I was able to house my workforce development program here starting in February 2022 up until May. And then we also got our grant again, so we'll be starting our program again, housing it here in October, which is coming up. I would also like to say that I feel like through our partnership, not only did I gain a friend, but I also gained a network of support, a network of resources, and I just appreciate the opportunity that this partnership has provided me. And thank you. And that's all I have.
Okay, so this essentially concludes our speaking portion. I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank folks. First, I would like to thank all of our speakers for advocating on behalf of Jefferson Street Center and what we're working on. Especially, I'd really like to thank Antoinette as one of our community partners who's been around with me since the very beginning. I'm very appreciative that we are learning and growing through this process together, and I'm so excited to see how you're going to continue to support the youth and young adults in Wilmington while growing the stand. I'd also like to say a heartfelt thank you to all of the Hanover volunteers, program managers, and the staff, as well as the Jefferson Street Center board. This work, and definitely this event, could not have been done without your dedication, passion, and commitment to the greater good. We also deeply appreciate our funders, as Willie mentioned, who've been able to join us today. It is your support that we can continue to explore, research, grow, and become more sustainable. And finally, I would like to say a huge thank you to the communities in Brandywine Village, Baynard Village, which used to be Washington Heights, and the Triangle, and beyond, for welcoming me and the organization into your circles, into your homes, and into your backyards around a fire to discuss the change you want to see. It is because of you that I'm so excited about this work and what we can get done together. So that's a wrap for the speaking portion of the event. Next up in this space, we're going to have the melodic dancers perform. So as folks are getting up, I think what we're going to do is we're going to kind of take the chairs and we'll put them onto the side, and then we'll watch the melodic dancers perform. So thank you so much. Make sure you go out and get some food, walk around the building, and thank you for coming. Have a great day.